Hey guys, welcome to Cartridge Blast Gamers. This is a movie review, and we're going to be reviewing Batman versus Superman. Or was it Superman versus Batman?
It's Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yes. I'm John, and that's Chris, and we're just going to give you a first impression of what we thought. We just saw it, we came fresh off of it. It's like 3 in the morning, we're tired, but we're going to do it. And we're going to break this up into 2 sections, so we're going to have a non spoiler, just first impression, and then we're going to dig into it and kind of dissect it a little bit for those who've seen it and want to know what we thought. So, yeah, Chris, first impression, what do you think?
First impression is it's a pretty decent movie. It was kind of long. It felt like three different movies in one movie. One of the biggest things that really stood out for me was the action that that Batman, especially in this movie, like the way the action and choreographed it was done, it was amazing. It was a pretty good film in that regard. As far as the actors go, Ben Affleck was Batman. Was it Gal Gadot was Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill was Superman, obviously, and then
There's Cadwell.
is it
Cavill.
Cavill?
That guy.
Yeah,
He's Superman.
but and then it was Jesse Eisenberg, right, who was Lex Luthor, and the way they did Lex Luthor in this movie was really interesting. That from the comic books and the animated series, I remember Lex Luthor being a real, like a business type, really super smart, kind of devious kind of a person. But in this movie, he's a little twitchy. And we'll go over that more in the spoilers, but I'll leave it at that. That was one of the character things, and of course, Amy Adams played Lois Lane. This movie was directed by Zack Snyder, and I feel like he did a pretty good job, and the CGI was pretty decent. So my first impression of the movie, I mean, it was really good. I mean, it didn't floor me. It didn't change my world, and so to speak. And I wanted a little bit more from the Batman versus the Superman fight scene, but that's just my opinion. What'd you think?
To be honest, I went in and not wanting to like it. I mean, I didn't really have anything against Ben Affleck being Batman. I mean, it's nice to know that you can actually hear Batman talk and not be like, Alfred, I need a sec. Where is she? Yeah, there wasn't any of that in there. Yeah, I mean, the pacing, I thought, for them to squeeze all this shit into this almost 3 hour movie, I didn't think they were going to pull it off. They did. If, not,
It was long.
It was long. It was long, but to me, it did feel like I watched 3 movies, like Chris was saying, in one sitting. But it's like one of those things where you watch one movie and then it goes to be continued. You wish it would just keep going. That's kind of like how it is with this one. So you basically get the 3 movies you want to see in one clip. So your ass is gonna be sore, but I thought it was worth it. So
They were rushing. I think they were rushing that story and the plot line. To your point, because of the dawn of justice is the dawn of the Justice League, and they really I think they crammed it down because they're trying to catch up with Marvel, in my opinion, because Marvel has already set up their universe with all of these movies, and DC's kind of catching up. And you guys could leave comments and let us know if we're off base, because from our point of view and your point of view obviously are different. So please let us know.
yeah, and I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, I just said pacing was good, but there were a lot of things that think of Marvel, where they had the Iron Man, then Thor, then Iron Man 2, and then out of nowhere they kind of stick a Captain America movie in there. And for me, that movie, I liked it, but it felt like the weakest of the first Phase 1 movies, where it just felt like they needed that one so they can finally get to Avengers. I feel like with this movie, they crammed Superman or Man of Steel sequel into the mix of a Batman movie and a prequel to Justice League all in one movie. So I said the pacing was good. For them to do that, the pacing was good, but there's things you're going to be scratching your head over. Um, I mean, to be honest, if you've seen any of the trailers, you probably get the gist of what the movie's about.
And that's the other problem too. The trailers gave a lot of the movie away, in my opinion. So if you guys did see the trailers, a lot of the fun things that would have probably been better as a secret were revealed, and I would say even the character development for Wonder Woman was a little like less than what I thought would be adequate for probably a prominent character in the upcoming movies. So
Yeah, we'll get into that if you want to stick around for the spoiler section. But yeah, I mean, if you've seen the trailers, you kind of know what's going on. There's obviously reasons to see the movie. They had some cool stuff in there that. There was actually parts of the movie where I was watching it and I was like, wow, this would actually be. I could actually picture it as a comic first. So for me to see the live action and like go back and like, hey, that would have been cool in like a comic book panel. I think that's kind of nice.
We should also rate the actors in this movie. What did you think of Ben Affleck being Batman?
Well, like I said, there's some things I want to go over in the spoilers, but
just generic. You don't have to give anything away.
I liked them. I mean, for what the writers gave him, director gave him, I think he did a great job. You can understand him. I mean,
had that synthesized microphone thing.
That was cool. It wasn't just his raspy voice that left him with laryngitis for 18 years. But the bat suit was awesome. The Batmobile was great. His Bruce Wayne versus Batman personalities were kept separate enough. It wasn't just like one monotone character, so it was cool. He did a good job.
I can add to that and say that Ben Affleck plays a very good Bruce Wayne. He played a very good Bruce Wayne. He sold it for me. Batman wise, I think with the limited acting that you can do as Batman, because most of it, when you're Batman, you're either in the darkness fighting bad guys and you're mostly doing CGI stuff. So as Batman, I think he pulled it off. Nothing against Christian Bale. I mean, Christian Bale has a special place in my heart. Oh, Batman. As Batman. Also, I have to talk about the sound.
Did you want to talk about any other actors? How they did? I mean, Superman, basically what you got out of Man of Steel is you're going to get in this one.
Superman's a static character, I mean,
I feel he was more depressed in this one.
Yeah.
Because, he, at the end of Man of Steel, if you haven't seen that one, the fuck you watching this video for? Go watch it right now.
Do it.
Alright, so you're back after watching it, right? Alright, anywho. So you saw it, and at the end, obviously, it's, Superman's revealed to the world. He pretty much blows up an entire city trying to fight one guy. All hell breaks loose. People are dead. They're angry. So this one, the repercussions of that hit him pretty hard, and he's trying to figure out where the balance is, or where he's supposed to be, what he's doing. So I think he portrayed it. I think it was, if there was any flaw, it was in the directing and the pacing of the movie, even though I said the pacing was good. But let's just say there's slow motion, and they overuse the slow motion. So I'll leave it at that.
What about Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor?
I'll go more spoilers, but to be honest, when I saw the trailers, I thought he was miscast, the way he was portraying him. But to be honest, I was completely blown away. He put a spin to it that I thought was great. I know it's nothing like the comics, nothing like the previous movies. He kind of did what Heath Ledger did with the Joker, kind of, made him more psychotic. So, honestly, I was fine with it. I thought it was great. He had a lot of facial expressions with it. You can actually feel the psychoticness of his personality. So
he was twitchy. He was really twitchy.
It's different than what you've seen before, but I think you'll like it if you see it. Even though I never met you, and I have no idea where your interests are in life. But
we believe that you will generally like it.
Yes.
Generally. So let's give it a rating for the viewers before we go into spoilers and things like that. So,
all right.
Out of 5 stars.
5 stars. Okay.
What would you give this movie?
Well, there's a lot of movie to rate for 5 stars, so I would give it a solid 3.
Wow.
That's
A 3.
a 3. I mean, don't think that's bad. I mean, there's not a lot to play with 5 stars in a almost 3-hour movie, but
Right.
I would say a 3 overall. I mean, it's nothing that blew me away, but for a live action movie that kind of adapted a couple of comic books in it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, fuck it, I'm gonna say 3.5. That's my final stars.
That is so neutral, it's unbelievable.
Yes. I have no opinion.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I give it 4 stars because I enjoyed the sound, the score, the music was incredible. They did a fantastic job in creating the mood. The characters, everybody was well cast. Obviously, Ben Affleck as Batman had big shoes to fill. I think he pulled it off. I felt like I was in the movie. I know it was a long movie, but I didn't feel... I know it was a long movie, but I didn't feel like I was sitting there for my entire life and I was bored. Like, I knew I was watching... I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. I thought I was being told a story.
Yeah.
I was involved. It was captivating, and I really did enjoy it. So I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars out of 5. The reason why I wouldn't give it 5... or because, well, I'll tell you guys in the spoilers, honestly. I'll tell you the reason why I didn't give it a 5 in the spoilers, so.
Alright, well, yeah, so stick around. This is your only warning. We're talking about spoilers next.
It's a spoiler alert!
I didn't know if that was a high five.
Nope, it was a picture.
Batman!
Ah!
Alright, guys. This is your only warning. Like I said.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to know shit about it. You probably have already seen the trailers and you already ruined that for yourself.
So please leave a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yes.
And then go see the movie. Then come back and watch the rest of this little review.
And
if you want to. I mean, it's up to you.
Do it.
I'm sure you guys have your own opinions.
Want to.
But we want to see them in the comments. Down there.
Down there. Down.
Get them in the... See him down there?
I don't see shit. Write some goddamn comments. Alright, anyway. Alright, so, spoilers now.
Spoilers, here we go.
Alright, so, what did you not like about the movie? We'll start with that.
The fight between Batman and Superman is supposed to be this epic thing. Probably the biggest fight in all comic book history between the Man of Steel and the Dark Knight. And I'm sitting in my chair like, holy smokes, shit is gonna get real. And we're going to see it. And all of a sudden, Batman mechs up, gets his suit on, and is as stiff as a freaking board. And what do I mean? Well, basically, the fight basically is a couple of guys throwing each other around. Batman uses a smoke grenade filled with kryptonite gas that he somehow synthesized in the Batcave with a laser with Alfred's help. Alfred, by the way, is an engineer of genius, because apparently it looks like he's the one building the shit in the Batcave.
Yeah, I feel like Batman or Bruce Wayne just dresses up and goes and plays with Alfred's toys, because you never see Batman or Bruce Wayne really do much with gadgets. It's like building wise or creative wise. It's just kind of Alfred tinkering his life away.
Yeah, so Alfred is the mastermind behind the Batman. But Batman armors up, he gets the sweet suit, and goes to fight Superman. Now, this is supposed to be the battle of the century. They're meeting each other, and when they start clashing, like the first thing that Superman does, it goes, I need your help, and I'm not going to fight you because I have to do a thing. And then Batman's got all these awesome freaking, like, traps and stuff set up. They do nothing. They do freaking nothing. I don't know why he set up those traps.
Alright, well, it's Superman. See, for me, I enjoyed the fight. It made sense. I could actually feel the writers and directors trying to get this perfect, because it's one of those things where, the Man of Steel, you just saw him rip a building or an entire city apart. This guy can just blow up the planet if he wanted to. And here he is fighting a mortal man, decked out in this freaking steel suit to fight this guy. So... And like you said, he's got to have so much weight on him that, trying to fight, if it was one of those things where he put all that on and then fought him like a Jackie Chan film where he's just doing flips and everything, freaking Batman would have died of cardiac arrest.
Well, I mean, a simple solution would have been power armor. Get Alfred on that.
Alfred was doing overtime. He didn't have time to do that shit. He even told him that the whole movie, this is a bad idea. What the fuck you doing? The guy could blow up the planet. I'm going to eat my spinach. And that's all he did.
All right. And then, at the end of that fight, for me, it was interesting that Superman's mother's name and Batman's mother's name, are the same.
Martha.
And Martha triggers his Batman's feelings because literally Batman's gonna stab Superman in the face with a kryptonite spear.
That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. I mean, I was waiting to see brain matter. Done. I'm like, yep.
Movie over.
Roll the credits.
Roll credits.
We don't need to see any more. But no, there was a bunch of other bullshit that happened and stuff. And for what it was an epic battle. It wasn't, in my mind, I made it bigger than it should have been. But I don't know if you guys did the same. Like I always imagined Batman putting a kryptonite ring on and just like instead of a mech suit, just going toe to toe or whatever. But he's had to wear the suit because Superman threw him through a fucking building and a bunch of concrete pillars.
He could have just made pieces onto, or welded pieces onto his suit, and it would have done it too.
I will say the gas grenade was a fantastic idea because he made him breathe it in.
Well,
and it had a lasting effect.
Well, what this movie does really well at is, if you ever read The Dark Knight Returns, Death of Superman, like the fight scene they take so much from the comic. Like he basically makes like an arrow grenade, kind of like in the comic, that blows up with the dust or the smoke. He breathes it in. That's how weakens him. And but to your point, it's basically like out of nowhere. It was just like, what did you say? Her name's Martha. My mom's Martha too. We can be best friends.
We have common ground.
Come on, best friend. It was weird like that.
You're suddenly a human.
Like this guy, like this whole movie, just like
it led up to that.
Yeah, he hated his he would have ripped his guts out if he could.
Like the whole first hour and a half of the movie was him building to that point.
And then out of nowhere, it was just like this release of, huh?
My God.
Oh.
I can't believe it.
So
your mother's name is Martha.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I liked the fight. It made sense because, I mean, to be honest, I mean, we're wearing Batman shirts, so we're obviously rooting for Batman. I mean, got nothing against Superman. He could lobotomize anybody he wanted to from freaking space, apparently, according to the comics.
No, I have a lot against Superman.
All right, well, you know what? Then don't fuck with him. Anywho, so I like the fight, but the things that didn't work for me were the introduction of the soon-to-be Justice League people.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know that Wonder Woman kind of stumbles upon, or Bruce Wayne stumbles upon this secret file that Lex Luthor was carrying on his computer of all these metahumans, and they had the Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and then Wonder Woman, all files on them, and it was kind of stupid because the way the pacing was, it was just like it built up to that, and then like we ended up watching this 15-minute thing. I don't even know if it was that long, but it felt like 15 minutes of us just watching what looked like little YouTube videos of
encounters of superheroes.
Yeah,
it was like watching Bigfoot videos of like, holy crap, we saw Aquaman in like the Titanic wreckage or some bullshit.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. I think they could have done that a little bit differently, better, which brings me to another big spoiler, which, once again, spoilers, because this is kind of the end of the movie. Doomsday, I liked a lot. I didn't know how I was going to feel about that. I thought it was going to be rushed, but they kind of took their time with it. They kind of started brewing him in the middle of the movie and let him, let him
cook.
Let him cook.
He was
was
simmering.
ready. Let him do his thing. They didn't just throw him in there.
He was simmering.
Right. So then at the end, they fight him. He was actually pretty awesome. They stuck to the comics where they tried blowing him up with the nuke, and then he falls back to Earth, and his body adapts to that
radiation.
Well, in the comics, he he can't die twice the same way.
Right,
Like, he gets
he adapts every
right.
time, so he can't get
his body mutates. So that was awesome. They showed that, and when the new kid Superman, he was all like fucked up like in the comic book, and then the sun revived. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
The one thing though is, once again, spoiler: Superman does die. Okay, and what pissed me off though was Bruce Wayne's reaction or Batman's reaction. He was like, he just sits there and he's just like, we must make it the way he would want it. We must join forces, and basically talking about like gathering the Justice League or gathering the meta-humans to make Justice League.
Right.
First of all, Batman wants nothing to do with that bullshit in the
Yeah.
comics and any animation adaptation that I've seen. He, he's usually the last to get picked. And
Not because he sucks. It's because he doesn't want to be
yeah,
there.
like he's just like, what the fuck am I doing here?
It's like you guys could go, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, if they really need him, he'll just show up in the shadows, kick some shit, go home, make Alfred build more shit.
Yeah.
But this one he was just like, it's gonna happen.
He's like the leader or something.
It was my idea.
The whole time.
The whole time, we're gonna gather our friends and
what pisses me off
and
too.
we'll be super friends.
And what pisses me off too is that he goes like Wonder Woman like completely like out of the like asks him like, why do you want me to gather these metahumans? And he goes, I have a gut feeling.
And then the camera zooms in on him.
Just gets closer. I have a good feeling.
We didn't know if it was a fart brewing or something else, but
it was serious.
Yeah.
He was serious. It made me feel serious and scared.
Yes. I wasn't scared. I was kind of pissed off.
Yeah, still.
Like, that's not Batman.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's Ben Affleck.
It is Ben Affleck. But, I mean, Batman in this movie, like you were saying before, the fight scenes are exactly what you would want to see from Batman. He's fucking flipping around, smashing people through walls. None of this. Listen, no offense to The Dark Knight. I love that movie when it came out, but to be honest, that series, except for Batman Begins, was more like a true crime series more than anything. Like
Dark Justice.
Exactly. It was more like a cop film.
Yeah, cops with Batman.
Yeah, exactly. A vigilante film. This one was actually Batman kicking comic book Batman asshole all up and down the place. All right, so that was really great. So yeah, Batman fight was good. Anyway. Anything that you really liked? Anything else you didn't like? I mean, like the side characters, Lois Lane, Superman's mom. Like I said, they utilized the same characters that were in Man of Steel. Even some generals, they kind of stuffed them in there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's. I mean, obviously now that we're talking about it, you've seen it. I mean, how did you guys feel? Did you feel like, to me, it felt like 3 movies in one.
So that's our general idea, really, this review. We felt like it was 3 movies crammed into one movie so that they can catch up to bring us the Justice League at some point in time.
Yeah, it's basically like them putting all of Phase 1 Marvel into a movie and a half. You know what I mean? Like they had Iron Man, and then all of a sudden in the next sequel to Iron Man, they throw in Thor, Captain America, and then Iron Man 2. It was just like, it felt like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said though, we enjoyed it. It was more of a surprise for me. I really kind of went in and just be like, not shaking my head, but like, okay, let's see how they pull this off. I think they pulled it off. I didn't like the introduction to the Justice League, and I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming maybe Darkseid's going to be the villain, but I mean, to be honest, I don't know about casting. They
didn't give anything away.
Yeah.
And guys, don't hang around for after the credits. There's nothing.
Yeah, and we should have mentioned that in the beginning of the movie, because you
guys
probably seen it.
Yeah.
Probably seen it. So you sat there waiting for something and you didn't see shit, and your ass is sore. You're like, fuck, I gotta piss so bad, and
it was shameful.
It was shameful.
Shameful, yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I mean, the only thing I could say, we didn't really talk about Wonder Woman, but
rushed character, kind of introduced haphazardly, didn't really give too much development with her. She came on the battlefield, and as Wonder Woman is the strongest Amazon crazy lady you've ever seen, she basically kicked the crap out of Doomsday, as you know, and that's about it. She deserves her own kind of movie, from what I can tell. But,
pretty sure she's getting one.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say about her.
I mean,
all the premonitions before the movie were like, oh, Bruce Wayne's dating that chick. No, it's not true. No, they're not dating. They not at all.
Yeah, they kind of threw her in the movie. I mean, I didn't have anything wrong with it. I knew it was coming. I knew who she was. If you didn't know much about her, as some movie critics already said this movie wasn't that good. Well, if you're not a fan of the genre or the comics or the any of these characters, you're obviously not gonna like it.
Right.
So, because to be honest, it's all fan service in this movie, I would say.
Right.
I said it before. Throwback to the Dark Knight Returns, Death of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see the return of Superman-esque comic style in the next movie, or he'll just bust out of his grave. Eat some donuts and continue on living his life. I don't know.
Donut? Like power rings?
Yeah.
Power
fuck,
ring.
man. I need a donut. Where's my woman at? I'm gonna bang her right now.
That's terrible, man.
It's good. It's good for the soul.
Anyway, guys, I think this is going to wrap up the review.
Yeah, we rambled on a little bit longer than we thought.
So, please throw some comments down there. Tell us what you think about the movie. Give us some feedback. Let us know. If you guys did enjoy the review, please do give a thumbs up. And if you really loved it, do subscribe, guys. But I'm Chris, and that's John from Cartridge Blast Gamers. And we'll catch you next time.
I'm Batman.